The Nathan Ivey Show is sponsored by UC Health. UC Health, Cincinnati's only academic health system.
It was the voice of a courageous explorer, a man dedicated to the pursuit of man's knowledge and the expansion of his horizons.
Good morning. Here is Nathan Ivey.
Mr. Ivey know the show must go on. As far as Cincinnati, man, I put on. Tunes made another flame beat for me to cook on. Raised arms, close fists, yeah, too strong. Team AI, chop it up at the chop shop. Top notch with the king flow, the hot shot. Cops watching, listen to the real. Jumping like hopscotch, nobody harder than, oh, no, think not. Not only citywide, but nationwide. Superlatives, keep it locked like the Haitian guys. Put the truth in the airwaves, we talk about it. Brand new like the 10th place, let's be about it. Who got the info about it? And yo, John O. B. the rapper got them jamming when they play him. Staying in my lane, they ain't gotta okay him. Who the host with the scoop? Yeah, they gon' say him. Ivy, so superlative like a bag of Drippos. Show you where the bricks at, Cincinnati red tag. One time when my people at. TNI when my people at. It's the 513, yeah, you know the flow. What's the word, Nate? Let them know the show. One time when my people at. Team NI when my people at.
Broadcasting live from Cincinnati, Ohio, here's the king of superlative flows, Nathan Ivey.
Good morning. Welcome back. Back from my hiatus, politicking on the latest. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, and we are broadcasting live. Today is the last day of the calendar year 2016. So I need numerous things today. I will continue looking back. Today I want to focus on pleasure. 2016, the year in pleasure. But I also need your Gilligan of the Year nominations. We'll catch up on that. I've got to give you a sense of what's been happening within the last 24 hours from just one man's humble perspective. Got to chop it up with the choppers, give you a sense of what's going on over the weekend. And it's funny how things work out. Last night I was at the big press conference. I was at the big press conference all day long. You going to the press conference? I was in attendance, and I'm glad that I was. It was over at Southern Baptist Church. As I was walking in, I just had flashbacks of being a kid attending Southern Baptist Church. My mom went to that church for a while. It's over on Reading Road in Avondale. And she used to take us to church, my brothers and I, every Sunday to that church. I did Sunday Bible school at that church. It was oddly familiar, very comfortable. There were a lot of people there. I'm bad at judging those kind of numbers, but more than a couple hundred. The media was there. And then you had the major players, Dwight Tillery. Somebody told me Dwight Tillery got pulled in this city. Is that true? Good morning to many members of the press who might be listening. Y'all late. We've been here since February. Good morning. Join the Chop Shop. Here is my number if you'd like to call in to the last show of the year. And let me put some invitations in. You may not have a good flow, but if you've been listening, never called in before, you just want to say, hey, Nate, a great 2016, looking forward to 2017. Here's the number, 513-873-7134. Again, 513-873-7134. So that is my number. And if you haven't already did so, please save me into your contacts. Let's make it official. Let's make our connection official. It ain't real if I'm not in your contacts. Good morning to you. Today is December 30th, 2016, the last weekday of the year, actually. I think I said day of the calendar year earlier, but I meant to say weekday of 2016. That's it. But back to the big meeting yesterday, the big meeting. It was interesting. Let's put it this way. Dwight Tillery, who is the CEO of the Center for Closing the Health Gap. He's also a former mayor, black man. And he's got some pull. I mean, because now this black agenda has now coalesced to other things. See, before the black agenda was just about, listen, we want our piece of the pie here locally. It was economic based. But now we see Dwight Tillery last night over Southern Baptist Church representing the Black Agenda Cincinnati in a press conference in which they're denouncing the actions of the white Democrat mayor, also former member of City Council, John Cranley. It's interesting. Was this the plan all along? You know me, I keep it real. I analyze from all topics, all sides. You give me your thoughts. So just check out my thoughts and tell me what you think. You also had Rob Richardson. He's the president of the NAACP. Now, this is kind of interesting because Rob Richardson, the president of the Cincinnati chapter of the NAACP, he grabbed the microphone and basically he laid into Cranley. It's so interesting because then I look over at Yvette Simpson, core member of City Council. She's already declared that she's running for mayor. And she's like, that's right. And I thought this is wild because the speculation is that man's son, Rod Richardson Jr., might be running for mayor. It's interesting. I don't know. These are just speculations. Interesting. Who else was there? Wendell Young. I mean, it's hard for me to imagine him as a police officer, man, with that. He's like, put him up. He's like, I'm not saying he's a cowardly lion at all. I don't think that at all about Wendell Young. But he's got that kind of voice to him. You know, Wendell Young. Sharply dressed man. Laid into Cranley. Basically, they're calling to an investigation to see if John Cranley was behind the firing of the mayor. And see, this is where it all gets even more convoluted and kind of ridiculous on some levels. Because hear me out on this. This was brought up several times. Then I'll tell you who else was on the stage. This was brought up several times last night at the big meeting over at Southern Baptist Church here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Good morning to you. Currently 7:15 a.m. Yeah, you found us. This is the Nathan Ivey Show. Grab a seat, sit down, let's do it. Very interesting how this politics is getting played out. Very interesting, huh? And the crowd was eating it up, man. Woo! They ate it up. Calling for an investigation into John Cranley. So again, this is the ridiculousness of it all. And I called it out just like many of you called it out as well. When the city decided to make a move on a former police chief, and it's funny how this keeps coming back, right? I told you so, Mr. Mayor. I told you so. It's funny how I'm telling you, it wasn't that he was dismissed. That was not the issue per se. It was the manner. It stuck with people. And it's manifesting itself now because information is coming out about secret deals, council not being informed. Very interesting. Very interesting. But what do you think? 513-873-7134. I know Brent said he was going to go. I'm assuming he did. Brent goes to all these kind of things. I didn't get a chance to powwow with him. I did run into a few listeners, ran into Sandra from SOAT. Remember SOAT? Call them. When you need them, call them. Sandra Jones. And we powwow for a second. Ran into Charlie Winburn, who came in late. Eddie, vis-a-vis Eddie Kane. That's Kane, by the way, from the 5 Heartbeats. He's standing next to me. We powwow for a second. He's like, man. I was like, man, I want to get you on the show. He's like, what show? This is Charlie Winburn, member of City Council. He's like, what show? I was like, my show. Which was a great sign. I mean, on one hand, I want everybody to know what we're doing. On the other hand, there's so much room for growth. There's so much room for growth. Well, he took my number, scribbled it down. I have no expectations that Charlie Winburn is going to remember my number whatsoever. None. He scribbled my number down, and I'm like, listen, there's 2 zeros, right, in my cell phone number, my personal cell phone. And I'm telling him the number. I'm standing right next to him. His handwriting's so horrible that when he takes my number, the first 0 looks like a 6. I'm like, Charlie, that should be a 0. He's like, what? I was like, Charlie, that's supposed to be a 0. That 6 right here is just a 6 right here, right? No, it's supposed to be a 0. And then finally, he just, instead of erasing the part that looks like a 6, he just scribbled all over it. He's one of those kind of guys. I'm like, how can you read this? So he's scribbling notes. Then at some point, he like using a folded newspaper, and he's folded like something, some kind of document. Maybe it could have been the flyer that they gave him when he walked in. And I got a chance to see that Charlie Winburn process like happen firsthand. And I hope he and his wife, he said something about his wife dealing with some health issues. I hope that she has a speedy recovery. I'm most definitely that. I'll send them some positive energy. So he scribbles down like bullet points. And they were talking points of what he was going to say. And they had called his name earlier. He wasn't there. I mean, he was late dealing with some more serious issues in terms of his own family. But he grabbed the stage and killed it. I mean, he had people standing up. I mean, Charlie could have damn near passed a collection plate in there and people would have put money in that plate, I'm telling you. Oh, he killed it. He revved it up. He's got that preacher in him. He just turned it on. And again, I got a chance to saw the process. He just scribbled down like 8 different points. And got to all the points in his own Charlie Winburn bombastic style. It's quite interesting. And Yvette Simpson spoke. She was there. Oh, yeah. Like I told you, Dwight Tither and these folks, they going for the jugular. They really trying to take the mayor straight out. Because we all know that the mayor was behind the firing of the city manager. This nonsense, this illusion that John Cranley is trying to promote, that somehow the man who he hired after an extensive search, the city manager, okay, is somehow operating and making major decisions against his wishes. It's just an illusion that John Cranley thinks the Cincinnatians are going to go for. I don't know. Is he trying to project that to black Cincinnati or to white Cincinnati? And yes, I hate to talk about the city in such monochromatic terms, but if you live in the city, am I lying? I mean, let's keep it real here. Don't catch me up with that nonsense. All right. Oh, yeah, we got that. I mean, black Cincinnati's like, we see right through you, bro. You instructed the city manager to get rid of the former police chief, Jeff Blackwell, period. But I mean, John Cranley's in the media still running with this illusion. Oh, I had nothing to do with it. This was a decision that the city manager came up with all by himself. We don't believe that. Stop telling that damn lie. It's not working. It's not working. Put that on a T-shirt with John Cranley's face. It's not working. It's not working. Nobody's going for it. We don't believe you. You need more people. Nobody believes that, John Cranley. Chris Seelbach was there. She was funny. I mean, because he was like the only white dude, basically, in the whole room. Well, it was a couple other white dudes. You know what I'm saying? Classic white Democrat coming to the black church. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those classic moments. And I saw the redness in his cheeks. He might be listening right now. I saw the redness in your cheeks, Chris Seelbach. At some point, he was saying something. I'm like, oh, he didn't think this through too much. He's just going whatever hits him. But they're all on the same side. I mean, it's well documented Seelbach has a problem with John Cranley. Well documented. I mean, they've sniped back and forth in council. It's interesting that Seelbach's there. No Sittenfeld was there. David Mann wasn't there. Christopher Smitherman wasn't there. Although Christopher Smitherman, and that's a member of City Council, he did get a chance to attend the press conference at about 3 p.m. yesterday. The press conference I attended was at 6 p.m. They started promptly. So about 3 hours before, he was there. And, the mayor had a press conference in which he addressed, some of the issues that's been in the news. He was not by himself. He had the city manager with him. He had Police Chief Isaac. He had Christopher Smitherman, and somebody else was there. Christopher Smitherman. He riding with the mayor. He is riding with the mayor. He is riding with the mayor. And I don't know if you know this or not, but I know that Christopher Smitherman does like a community access show. And it's like him, and it looks like a library setting with a white chalkboard. And it's just so entertaining to watch it sometime and see him just go off. He be stumping hard. And I bet you there's people out there, man, just eating it up. Put more in my bowl, Chris. They just eat that. They're eating the slop up. They love it. They love it. Tell me more. Tell me more. It was quite interesting. What I can say is that Dwight Tillery is trying to form Voltron on Mayor John Cranley. Seriously. It is a for real thing. What else is happening around the world? Well, we found out now that Obama has given sanctions to the Russians. And I'll be honest with you, I really believe that the Russians got the better end of the deal. I really do. I mean, it appears that the Russians were able to influence in a U.S. election. I mean, they took advantage of us at a very sensitive time. They took advantage of our naivete. They took advantage of our ignorance. How dare they? Right, the Russians. Using the internet. And then how is this going to be used against the people? Okay, this whole cyber thing. But Obama did something shrewd. I'm getting to it. He did something very, very shrewd. As a reaction, he decided that he was going to slap the Russians with some sanctions that included the expulsion of about 36, somewhere around there, diplomats, Russian diplomats. That the more is being reported over the last 24 hours, some of these diplomats are really like spies. And everybody knows that some of them are spies, but they act like diplomats. They take on these official titles to gain access to foreign nations. And he gave them, gave them 72 hours to get the hell out of the United States. 72 hours. And this is critical because what this does now, this is so critical. Obama's so smart to do this. Because Donald Trump doesn't want to deal with the whole Russian stealing the election thing. Have you noticed that? Have you noticed that? The man is like, matter of fact, he was quoted yesterday, and I'm loosely paraphrasing our president-elect, Donald Trump. He said, listen, it's time to move on from this whole Russian thing, right? That's what he said. Time to move on? I mean, thousands of hours after it was time to move on the whole birthism thing, the man kept riding that horse. He kept riding that horse. When it was way past, designer thoughts, he was still riding that birther horse. But now, with the possibility that a foreign nation impacted our election, he just wants to move on now. Okay. Russian, smushing, gushing, blushing. Let's just move on to bigger things here. All right, let's enjoy 2017. I mean, that's essentially Donald Trump's statement. Don't you find that a little suspicious? This is why it's so brilliant what Barack Obama has done. He has now forced Donald Trump to make a move. 21 days from today, that's exactly 3 weeks, 21 days from today, Donald Trump is going to be sworn in as the 45th president of the United States of these Americas. Yeah, it's funny when you say it like that, isn't it? For real? For real, y'all. For real. Get your Kleenex ready. Grown folks will weep in their cubicles at their jobs when they see Michelle Obama leave the States for the last time. It's going to happen. But now Obama has forced the Trump administration to make a move. If Trump takes the office and then he decides to scale back all these sanctions, well, then that's going to give a lot of credibility to what a lot of people are saying, that basically he's a Manchurian candidate for the Russians, meaning that he's a puppet for the Russians. He's got a very cozy relationship. And here's the other thing about this cozy relationship. Why? I don't believe the cover story that Putin did this because he wanted to get back at Hillary Clinton. Nah, I don't buy that one. It sounds like a convenient cover story, but something tells me that there's a far more nefarious reason that we just haven't uncovered yet. Stay tuned for that one. Stay tuned for that one. Let's take a call before we break. Good morning, caller. How are you?
Hey, Brother Nate. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Roosevelt.
Yes, sir.
How you doing, sir?
Hey, good. Hey, man, I just had a question, and maybe I missed it. You know, I caught it that the mayor had apologized for, you know, maybe him overstepping and assuming he had the approval of the Sentinels to say what he said. But let's be real, okay? You know and I know, I think everybody knows now that he was behind getting the chief fired. But he didn't do it by himself without keeping the community at bay. And that whole incident that happened down in council chambers with Sentinel representation and what we later found out ended up being our current police chief, even though the community was at arms, I think seeing the presence of those gentlemen there, I think helped to create what could have been a more toxic situation in this city. And would you agree with that?
I would.
And so I guess what I'm saying is that, like, have those people spoke? Have they come forth? Because it kind of seems like they were all in that conspiracy to kind of get rid of him. And if in fact that's the case, I mean, these are our leaders, brother. I mean, you know, these are people that we hold true to the community, and we take their word for it.
Absolutely. Last night, the way it was couched was, look at John Cranley trying to pit black folks against black folks. That was the way it was being couched last night. But you and I both know that perhaps for it to really work, some folks had to be in it. They had to be in on it for their own motivations.
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, could it be that, you know, maybe there was some folks on the police force that maybe they didn't like Blackwell because he was from out of town, and maybe people thought that they should have been in line for it. That's what it was?
Yep, could have been. Could have been he came in and stepped on a few toes. You know what I'm saying? And didn't have the social support inside of the because he wasn't there, you know, coming from Columbus, inside the police department to really have his back. That's what it looks like. That's what I've sort of gotten, you know, since it's happened.
Yeah, I mean, you know, maybe it's not his position to say anything. I get it. You got to police the city right now. But I'd be interested to hear kind of where the chief is on all this now that this kind of came out. I haven't heard anything from him.
That will be interesting. He's in a tough spot, isn't he? Because some people are looking at him like, oh, you just a puppet. They put you in there to appease black folks because they got rid of the other guy and he was black. That was brought up last night as well.
Yeah, which I think is very treacherous because, you know, the community right now where we are, we need to believe in our police chief. And if in fact that's the case, you know, there could potentially be some credibility issues there. But hey, man, it's been a great 2016. I enjoyed listening to you, brother. Really proud of your accomplishments, man. I'm going to get off here, and I look forward to listening to you in the coming year, brother.
Absolutely, Roosevelt. The most deaf, man. Have a great weekend. Have a great holiday. And I'm not sure if you're going out tonight, man, but we'll catch up. Definitely.
Take care, brother.
Yep, most deaf. That's Roosevelt. The line is available, 513-873-7134. That's a tough spot for the chief because some people are looking at him like, oh, you just a patsy. They just put you here. You just a puppet. You know, you that brother that stabbed that other brother in the back for that white man. That's what people are saying. And then on the other hand is whatever is the truth. You know what I'm saying? That's the other part. That's very interesting. Scotty Johnson's name was brought up a couple times. Very interesting. But again, here's my number, 513-873-7134, if you want to transform your brain waves into internet talk radio waves this morning. At this time, I think it's time to get to the choppers. Most definitely.
Get to the choppers!
Try it again.
Go! Get to the choppers!
Yeah, let's do that. Wow, this is the last weekday show of the year. Our next show will be in the new year. Yeah, that's our very next show. Last Friday of the year. Wow, 2016. Let me back up here. I'm not even sure. I don't know if I like that one. Give me something else, something big. Yeah, there we go. Good morning, choppers. That's how you greet the choppers triumphantly. Good morning, choppers. Happy 2016 to you. Let me back up here. Backing up. I see, Jerica was first inside the chop shop. She writes, good morning, Friday family. Followed by Tanika. Tanika writes, good morning, Nate and the choppers. Followed by Kiki. It's 1, 2, and 3. She writes, Irene, Mr. Ivy, and the choppers. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lips. Good morning. What, Jerica? Tanika's been holding that down all week. And Jerica slides in there, huh? Angela writes, good morning. I appreciate you. That's 1, 2, and 3 inside the chop shop for today, Friday, December 30th, 2016. Angela writes, good morning. Pat writes, good morning, y'all. Jerica writes, look at all that natural beauty coming in the room. Okay. Tanika writes, yes, Jerica. Right back at you, sister. I'm not sure if I should read that. Casey writes, good morning, team. Sending positive, powerful vibrations to you all. CJ, what up, Charles? He writes, good morning. Chuck writes, sup, Nate in the chop shop. Daryl writes, good morning, Friday morning. Good Friday morning, Nate, and the hella choppers. Last show of the year, so let's show out and make it an epic one. John writes, good morning, and I see the grapes. I see it. Grapes! I think the Grape Gods got some new material. I don't know if we'll have a chance to play it today, but maybe next week. The Grape God. Grapes? I'm not going to get into it because I'm tired of embarrassing myself. She's not giving me grapes right now. I don't have it like the Grape God. Okay, Tiffany writes, morning, everyone. Cruther writes, good morning. Brown skin listening in. Dante writes, good morning, everyone. Happy New Year. We made it. Fama writes, good morning, folks. Fame here with a pressed shirt, crease in his Dockers, and a bowl of Captain Crunch, ready to talk that ish and 3-0 the establishment. Okay. Somebody's ready. Michael writes, good morning. Kush writes, good morning, people. Be great today. You know, oh, man. Listen, stay close. Stay close over the weekend. Brian writes, morning. Cruther writes, Cranley is my Gilligan of the year. Follow the yellow brick road. What? The wizard? Here. Who is your Gilligan of the year? All right. Every week we've done this every Friday since we kicked off the show. Who is your Gilligan of the week? A few people stick out to me. One of them is going to be the president in exactly 21 days. So as I was saying, the Obama administration has now hit the Russians with sanctions for spying on us. And not just spying on us, but they tamper with our election. And I think that the Russians got a better deal. They got a much better deal. I mean, We now have to deal with Donald Trump. We now have to deal with the Republican supermajority. Do you know these dudes? On day one of Inauguration Day, they are planning to repeal Obamacare. Okay? And we can disagree and we can agree, we can argue, we can shout at one another, we can scream bold, we can text bold-faced to one another, but those are the facts. They are going to try to repeal Obamacare. But what makes it so crazy, what makes it so absolutely just incomprehensible, incredible,
Brothers and sisters, I don't know what this world is coming to.
is that they don't even have an alternative. They have no health care plan of their own. The Republican Party has no health care plan. They've been talking about Obamacare for 6 years. They promised to come up with an alternative within 60 years. They have no plan. They're just going to repeal it for the hell of it and let the chips fall where they may, baby. They're going to hobble together some kind of plan on the fly. Now, do you believe that that is the way that the American health care plan system should be brought together? Ridiculous. So anything is possible. But I think that the Russians got a better deal. They gave us Donald Trump, and then now they're going to lose 35 Russian diplomats and some of this and some of this. And then the Obama administration implied that something's going to happen in secret, like some secret cyber attack. Like, we're going to get you back, basically, is what they said. We're going to get you back. And, I mean, but we still have Donald Trump. The Russians got a better end of the deal. And now the big thing is that, okay, other people are watching this, and they may decide to attack us in terms of the cyberspace. I'm telling you, people are watching. So people are watching. People, big businesses are watching the president-elect. And it's very obvious. Because now there is numerous businesses who are jumping in line to allow Donald Trump to take credit for their plans in terms of producing jobs just to appease the giant ego that he appears to have. And that is of the president-elect. You've heard about this? Maybe not that widely reported. There's numerous big corporations, right? Big companies that have released press statements in which they've said, hey, because of Donald Trump, we're going to bring 5,000 jobs, right, to the United States. When, in fact, in all these cases, they were going to bring nearly the same amount of jobs anyway. But they're starting to pick up on the psychology of the president. And everybody wants to be on the president's good side. So if they play this game like, yay, Donald Trump's influence, saving America's jobs, they're hoping that it'll give them a seat at the table. I'll give you more details later on in the show. But this is the world that we live in. This is the world that we live in. As we go into 2017, has there ever been a more sense of uncertainty in recent years as to how things are going to happen and what's going to happen, and are you going to be able to provide for your family, and is the government going to work for you, and Supreme Court nominations, and the rest of it. The rest of it is deep out here. But again, good morning. My name is Nathan Ivey. This is the Nathan Ivey Show. My number, 513-873-7134. Picking the locks to your brains and coming through blasting right after this.
When you were a little kid and you thought about what you wanted to be, teaching was at the top of your list. But things changed. And as you got older, teaching didn't seem like the best option anymore. So you're thinking you'll be something else. But what would your 12-year-old self say? Now you want to be a doctor. You don't think teachers save lives? 25 at a time. An actress? Try playing a different role every time the bell rings. How about a scientist? Ever heard of physics? Chemistry? Who do you think teaches that? Teachers today are breaking down obstacles, finding innovative ways to instill old lessons, and taking learning far beyond the four walls of the classroom. It's time to recognize that great things are happening in teaching and put it back on your list. Don't try to convince yourself otherwise. You had it right the first time.
Find out how you can make more at teach.org. Make more. Teach. Brought to you by Teach and the Ad Council.
Unexpected reactions to smart financial decisions brought to you by feedthepig.org.
Well, I finally did it. I opened a 401k.
So you're giving up? Just like that?
Giving up on what?
On getting an inheritance from a distant relative.
Don't you think if there were a billionaire in the family, we'd know about it by now?
Listen to me. We are one phone call away from riding horses on our own private polo grounds. One call from christening yachts, having a butler, using summer as a verb.
How do you figure?
Look, everyone's got a rich uncle somewhere. It's statistics. So the best thing you can do is just prepare for the inevitable.
Right, which is why I thought maybe it would be smart to take control of my finances. You know, start using a budget, get out of debt, set some retirement goals.
Budgets? Debt? You watch your mouth. Retirement shouldn't be a goal for us. It should be a way of life.
When it comes to financial stability, don't get left behind. Get tools and tips for saving at feedthepig.org. This message brought to you by the American Institute of CPAs and the Ad Council.
Now back to the show.
Good morning, welcome back. This is the Nathan Ivey Show, sponsored by UC Health. UC Health, Cincinnati's only academic health system. Let's get back into it, shall we? Yeah, Cruther writes, Cranley is my Gilligan of the year. Let's touch him up.
Just sit right back and you'll hear it.
I need your nominations for Gilligan of the year, please. I'll be honest with you. One name, and I think many of you will agree with me, is that damn coward George Zimmerman. Let's touch him up, please. Let's sit right back. You hear the tale of a man who's a damn coward, who racially profiled a young man, a minor, by the way, a child, confronted him, and then, when he started to get overpowered, shot this young boy. And then walked away with it, away from the whole deal, because I think race politics in America. Race politics. Be careful what you put on Facebook. Kiki writes, happy 5th day of Kwanzaa. Nia equals purpose. Thank you. Thank you for bringing culture to the show. So I ain't got no damn culture. Pat writes, I sent a link to the press conference to the Friends Who Like Nathan Ivey page. Thank you very much, Pat. Appreciate that. Daryl writes, did you get a chance to pull Tillery's coattails, so to speak, and ask him to come on the show, or why he's been ignoring your request to speak with him? No, I did not, Daryl. I did not. He was swamped. I did not. Pamela writes, good morning. I'm laughing that you welcomed the media to the chop shop and telling them that you were 10 months, that they were 10 months late. Yeah, they were 10 months late. We've been here for 10 months. The first press we got for the show was Chris Rederich over at Cincinnati Biz Courier. And then I don't know if you read this piece, because, you know, it's so funny, I'll be honest with you. Some of this stuff, I didn't even see it until like weeks and in some cases months afterward. Like when Cincinnati Magazine voted this, what you're listening to right now is one of the top podcasts in Cincinnati. I didn't even realize it. I had no idea. They didn't call me. The author didn't call me. Nobody sent me a link. I just happened to be doing some SEO kind of stuff and came across it. I'm like, wow, straight up, great. Who else? Oh, yeah. Daryl Parks. He's got a blog. He used to do a show, and he was also the PD, the program director for 700 WLW here in the city of Cincinnati. And he did a he did a great piece. Shout out to Daryl if you listen. He did a great piece on the show, on me, and sharing his observations. And, you know, what makes his thoughts so interesting to me is that here's a guy who worked in the Cincinnati market for many, many years, for decades. So that's an informed opinion. Okay, that's an informed opinion. So there's been some press. Others will come on. Others will come on later. And it'll be like, wow, this great thing just started. And we would have been here for a while. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how things work. Ms. D writes, greetings. Dare writes, locally, he's quickly raised to the top of my list for Gilligan of the Year. And I throw Scotty Smitherman and Fat Boy Isaac in with Cranley to share their prestigious award. I don't want to press the button. I lost. Fame writes, I don't feel Rob Richardson, Sherry Richardson, or the boy. They are a part of the Cincinnati black bourgeois and try to front like they aren't. Okay. Pat writes, yes, media, become a patron of the show. I'm just saying, I appreciate you, Pat. Thank you. Most deaf. Dale writes, if he wrote it down instead of putting it in his cell phone, sorry to tell you, Nate, he's not going to contact you. I already know, Daryl. Trust me. When he wrote it down, I'm like, this man, I know how to get in touch with him. Believe me. Pat writes, Nate, Bishop Hilton was there. Yes, he was. I don't leave out Bishop Hilton. Yes, he was there. And he's the president of NAN. So think about this. You got president of NAN, National Action Network, local chapter here in the city of Cincinnati. He's also a preacher. You've got Dwight Tillery, who's the CEO of a nonprofit. I'm not sure what the mission statement is, but the title is the Center for Closing the Health Gap. And I think that they have really put some serious efforts into trying to educate people about the health gaps and how to close it. I will say that. But that's completely like nonpartisan. It has nothing to do with politics. It's not picking and choosing a mayor, anything like that. And while Dwight Tillery didn't get up and outright endorse Yvette Simpson, I mean, you kind of get that sense. Because she's, to this point, the only person on the stage who's actually running against John Cranley. So just be aware of how these actors are coming together. And also ask yourself, what's in it for these various individuals? And I'm not suggesting that each and every one of them don't give a damn about the community, because I'm sure they do. But I'm just telling you, as adults, this is what we have to do. Let's think our way through this. Pam writes, I'm sure Smitherman had one of his smithereens there at the meeting that will report back to him on what happened. Oh, I'm sure. Brenda writes, happy pre-New Year's Eve. Angela writes, I predict more flag burning in 2017. Jane writes, good morning, Nathan, and a chop shop. Dale writes, has Scotty Johnson spoke on this matter? ? Why has he been quiet? I didn't see him standing behind Cranley at the conference. I mean, you know, Cranley hot right now. Cranley is hot right now. After those emails released, and it was brought up last night, like, look at how Cranley, this is how it was set up last night. The white Democrat mayor is pitting black folks against black. White Democrat mayor is bragging, and this was brought up by a member of council, a current member of council. And he's like, John Cranley basically, was it him or was it somebody else? It may have been somebody else. Somebody said it, put it that way. I don't want to put some words, I don't want to attribute a quote to someone and then be misquoted. So let's put it this way. It was said last night that John Cranley basically was like, he was big boying it with Rahm Emanuel. Where have you heard that before? Like, yeah, we got our Negroes in line down here. I got the signals. Where'd you hear that before? Me. So that is deep. It's very deep. These alliances are forming. This is going to be a very interesting political season, 2017, starting in January. People are going to start putting their names out there for city council. People are going to start putting their names out there for mayor. Who knows who else might show up? Who knows? If last night was any indication, we got a window into how perhaps Yvette Simpson is going to proceed forward in her quest to become the next mayor of Cincinnati. And she spoke a lot last night about people. She kept coming it back to that and respect and feeling respected. So, I mean, you know, there's some folks out there trying to make a big deal out of this Blackwell situation. My question is, how big a deal should it really be? That's one question. That's a fair question. It's a very fair question. Daryl, I don't know. I mean, I remember right after it happened, Scotty Johnson went on local radio and he did an interview and he talked about it. He told me he'd come on at any point. I have not reached out to him recently. But, unless there's a reason to get back into that white hot glare of the media, why do it? Maybe that's why he's not talking about it, Daryl. Could be. Kiki writes, she's talking to someone else. Carlene writes, good morning, Choppers. Good morning, Carlene. Good morning, Shauna. Reggie writes, good morning, Chop Shop. Kiki writes, hit that like button, fam. Junior the Truth, good morning, family. Hashtag salute. Every time I see your avatar, I think of Harambe, Junior. I wonder why. There's just something about your avatar that makes me think of Harambe. Anybody in Cincinnati who, when they're asked what are the biggest local stories, anybody that would rank Harambe higher than the death of Sandra Bowles, and it has to be written like that, the death of Sandra Bowles. This ain't just a Ray Tensing trial. This is the death of Sandra Bowles. Okay? Again, if you reverse this if Ray Tensing had been killed by Sandra Bowles, it would be the death of Ray Tensing. To underscore the importance of why we're all here. Some damn Harambe. I don't know. I haven't been back to the Cincinnati Zoo. They might not even let me in. Like, wait. It ain't Ivy. Yep. You can't come in here talking about our establishment. But I've driven past it and people just love the Festival of Lights. Festival of Lights. Are you kidding me? We could just take some Christmas lights and put it in a tree in the backyard. And there it is. Sit in the backyard with some cocoa. Festival of Lights. No difference. But raise your hands, fellas, if you've ever been to the Festival of Lights. Mitch, put your hands down, Mitches. Oh, my God. My work is just getting started. Real men don't go to the Festival of Lights. Didn't I tell you that? Never. Just some things that a real man doesn't do. Like, a real man doesn't, number one, go out into the wilderness and you need back surgery. I'm still mad about that guy. And then you let your woman trek in the snow 26 miles. She's gone for 30 hours. And your ass already been rescued. And just to give you an example of how just messed up, like, the gender roles are, there were women who were arguing with me about that. Like, well, making excuses like, well, maybe this and maybe that, and maybe she was just better fit. Better fit? You can be married to Wonder Woman, and you still better get your ass out there and trek through the snow. That's what men do. Okay? Women get the plates on the holidays, and men, we die. We die for our ladies and our fans. What it is, man. And you have women like, it's wrong, and it's a happy ending. She's never going to respect that man, ever. I guarantee they do not stay together more than a year. I guarantee it. She's never going to respect him. I mean, she might say she respects him, but in the back of her mind, what she knows is that when the ish hits the fan, he's going to look at her. If they're walking home from a movie and somebody tries to mug them, he's going to look at her like, baby, save us. Oh, don't get me started. Kiki writes, my Gilligans of the year, Cranley and Trump. Irresistible. Irresistible.
Just sit right back and you'll hear.
We know it's true. I told you both, the folks, the day before the election, that within 24 hours, the day of the election, that within 24 hours, this country was going to make history. We were going to either, and we had two distinct choices. We were going to either make history in terms of electing the first female to the White House. I mean, is there a glass ceiling? Of course there is. Are women paid equally to men? Of course they're not. Do little girls need to see a female president? Of course they do. Just the way like little brown children, little children of color have enjoyed growing up knowing that people of color are in the White House. That's important. But we chose to make history in a very different way. We chose to elect the first sucker MC ass clown president. That's what you decided. That's what you decided, John from Princeton, New Jersey. Doesn't John from Princeton, New Jersey just irritate the hell out of you? He does. See, now y'all got me thinking. I'm like, yeah, you're right. Calling here talking that nonsense. And we got to deal with Donald Trump. Oh, man. Pan writes, good morning, choppers. Dale writes, nationally is so many Gilligans of the year and not enough awards. So many. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Lawrence writes, good morning, choppers. Fama writes, funny you mentioned Daryl Parks, who was Sensible Don's daddy over there at 700 for years. But I always envision you someday working over there as illiberal like a Carmine back in the day. What? He invoked the name of Carmine? What? The great Carmine Guzman? What you know about Carmine? This dude. Wait. Leon is deep in the talk radio game with that one. That's right, the great Carmine Guzman. It was his voice that attracted me to talk radio from the get-go. He was a flamethrower. Oh, man, it was beautiful. Disco Jews, love it. Love it. And he had actually worked for Jerry Tolliver. Just to give you the whole story, Fame Up. I knew that he had worked with Jerry Tolliver back in the day. I don't know how I knew this. Maybe she said it, or I don't know how I knew this, but I knew this. And it was one of the reasons that when I was sending my demo tape out, I mean, I'm from Cincinnati, so I know this landscape a little bit better than anywhere else. In fact, a whole lot better. I don't know anywhere else the way I do Cincinnati. So it just seemed like a natural fit. But in particular, I sought out Jerry Tolliver because I knew that she had this connection to this dude I used to listen to on the radio and thought he was so ill. And it's funny because literally that was my thought process. And I can remember sitting in her office talking about Carmine Guzman and kind of telling her that myself. Matter of fact, she just hit me up. Matter of fact, we may have lunch today. Yeah, today's Friday. I think I'm going to catch up with Jerry Tolliver later today. I may post a pic. Adele writes, Wendell Young said it, Nate, that Cranley was pitting black folks against black folks references. Yeah, that was Wendell Young. Thank you, Daryl. That was Wendell Young. Yeah, Wendell went hard. I don't know. I kind of got the sense that Wendell felt like he had to, because who was there? Winburn. I mean, he just tore the house down. It was standing ovations. Like I told you, Winburn could have passed the collection plate. It probably went through his mind like, damn, I wish I brought my plate. And pass that plate one time and just take the money home with you. But, then Wendell Young came back in and he had to turn it back. He was like, wait. He ain't the only one who can sing up on this stage, right? And so Wendell had to let him know a few things, and he had to hit the crowd going. It was quite interesting. Lawrence writes, making a big deal out of past issues seems to work. Look at Donald Trump. Politically, you do what you have to do. Deborah writes, oh no, overslept more than Nate in the choppers. I'll definitely have to listen to the reprogcast show today. Junior writes, LMAO, real man. That's right, I said real man. Cruther writes, Cranley had no problem embarrassing the hell out of Blackwell. He did quite have embarrassed the hell out of Blackwell. He really did. Speaking of Blackwell spoke last night. And it sounded good, too. I don't know. Part of me was expecting to hear his voice sound a little softer. But Iris Rowley, a lot of people know Iris. She was there. She actually had him on speaker. And then they took the speaker. It was really high tech. They took the speaker and they put the speaker, like the phone, put it on speaker mode, and then put the phone straight up to the microphone. I mean, just high tech. 22nd century type of technology right there. But so it wasn't like the perfect sort of, you couldn't pick it up perfectly, but you could hear what he said. And he just thanked everybody and said, keep pushing for the truth. I'm like, well, is there more? What's more to this? I mean, I would like to know, when did the relationship start to sour from Blackwell's perspective and also the chief's perspective, not the chief, but the mayor's perspective? I mean, was it day one? Was it simply because John Cranley he had to inherit a police chief as opposed to putting who he wanted there? Was it all about that? That's what I want to know. I want to know it all. I want to know. Let me go back here. Want to catch up with the choppers. Damn, Daryl. He writes, I'm guilty of going to the Festival of Lights a few years ago. Only because we got free tickets. Well, you did get free tickets. You didn't pay for it? Okay. Pat writes, Nate, what if a real man took his children to the Festival of Lights? What is wrong with that? So you're trying to bring children into the game, Pat? Trying to muddy the waters? Children are a little different. I was speaking in reference of like, a relationship, girlfriend, boyfriend, wifey, fiance, something like that. If you're taking your children, that's a little different. Fame writes, when you're a single dad and have your daughter on Christmas break and she requests a Festival of Lights, you take her with glee. I had no choice, Nate. That's different, though. You must take your daughter to the Festival of Life. Tracy writes, going into a 3-hour training, see y'all. 3-hour training on a Friday? Who are these people? Who are these people? Junker writes, Sotomayor is one of my Gillikins of the year. Tommy Sotomayor? Sotomoisture? That was an epic. What's wrong with these dudes? Oh, by the way, I've gotten a chance to watch Dr. Umar Johnson's rant in its complete entirety. What we played yesterday doesn't do it justice. This man went in. And then like halfway through the damn video, he says, oh, sorry, brothers and sisters. Let me get back to talking about my school. I'm like, bruh, you just spent 15 minutes cussing, calling some other brother the N-word, showing your vanity, showing what you really value, giving of a sense of how you see yourself into relations to other people. And then you stop and say, well, let me get back on Trump. Let me get back on point, conscious people. I'll play it for you. It's hilarious. And then I went back to the dude who originally was talking about him, and I'm like, these two dudes is beefing on YouTube. It's ridiculous. It really is. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. It really is. Beefing. Do you know what Park Place is? Park Place is a restaurant that's out in like the Forest Park area. I'm going to get the exact address for you, but looks like I'm going to be your hostess. No, your host. Not hostess, your host for tomorrow evening as we get ready for New Year's Eve. And if you don't have plans, stop by and say what's up. Wait. They letting me host? They don't know what they're doing. They have no idea. They have no idea. But I'm going to do it anyway. Nathan Ivey style. That's Park Place. I'll give you more details. Also, you remember when I was invited to go back to the Buzz? I've been invited again. Yeah, for tomorrow, 11 a.m. And matter of fact, I want to do it while send the email before I forget. It's the 21st century. Yeah, people always got their phones in their hands. Why would the radio be any different? Give me a second here. I want to make sure I let the good folks, the host of the show, know that I'm available. Here we go. Yeah, okay. I'm there. Thanks. Nathan. There it is. Nathan's. Damn, autocorrect. I'm there. All right. There it is. So, I'm scheduled to be there. We'll see, between now and tomorrow at 11 a.m. And of course, it gives me a chance to get back in front of the audience and let them know where I am, sort of promote what I'm doing, and also talk a little shop with you. I'm looking forward to it. Really. That's tomorrow, 11 a.m. And I'll post a link, and I'll at least put up if not a link, I'll at least let everybody know and remind you. So if you're around in the mood for some talk radio, great. It should be interesting. James writes, good morning, all. Roosevelt writes, Carmine was the truth. Whatever happened to him? Wow, he was great. Roosevelt, deep in the radio game. Anybody who knows Carmine Guzman, that tells me you've been listening to local radio. You're a fan of local radio. That's what that tells me. Because not only have you been listening to radio for a while, but you've been listening around the dial. The Carmine was one of the best ever, if not the best ever, actually. See, what else here? Tiffany writes, good morning. Fame gets a pass, LOL. Hashtag daddy duties. Hashtag festival of lights. Oh, yeah, most def. Don't bring kids into it. Lawrence writes, I never go to the zoo. We had to fight them for our property. They tried to use eminent domain on our entire block. The zoo can kick rocks, which is what you'll be doing, walking around for 2 hours looking at lights. Damn. Never? You're never going back? Ever? That's deep. Angela writes, thanks for the heads up. We'll be listening. Oh, most def. Most def. Dale writes, well, I live right down the street from Park Place restaurants, and me and my family been there numerous times to eat. Good food. I love their egg roll. I think they call them spring rolls. Yes. Stop by, Daryl. Stop by. Pat writes, I'm looking forward to hearing you again on the praise. Do what you do, Nate. Absolutely. Why wouldn't I? All day, every day. If you wake up this morning and you're the kind of person that checks out the headlines, here are some of your headlines from the Huffington Post. GOP congressman, he says Russian hackers, quote, merely did what the media should have done. So if there's a foreign country out there that has issue with the United States and they attack us, what they can almost be certain of is that depending on what happens, instead of it going after them, that the partisan bickering is going to take place. And perhaps they'll never be prosecuted. Nothing will ever happen. There'll be no repercussions whatsoever. That's what the moral of the story is. So the Russians hack us. And they released all this dirt about Hillary Clinton. And in a very close race where a lot of people were undecided, it had an impact. It had an impact. And they do this because they are trying to help Donald Trump. I want to say this to you again. The number one question that should be answered in 2017 is, why did the Russians want Trump? Don't believe the cover story that, well, Putin didn't like Clinton because Clinton did something to Putin many years ago. Don't believe that. That's too easy and convenient. That's too easy. I'm sure there's a far more, I'll say it again, nefarious reason why. And then you got the GOP. They're okay with the Russians hacking us. But now Obama's put them in a tough spot because traditionally Republicans have been tough on what? The Soviets. Hell, they were running around here calling Barack Obama a communist. You had Republicans that was running around calling Barack Obama a socialist. He's a communist. Two different things. Two different things. They're not interchangeable. They do not have the same definitions or meanings. But people conflate them all the time. Socialism, communism. You know, they say them interchangeably as if they mean the same thing. They do not. That's number one. Number two, while they're running around, and they were running around calling the president of the United States, who was already a United States senator, well documented, he's a communist. But when the real communist attack and hack the American electoral system, the GOP is running around here making excuses. This man said that the Russians did what the media should have done. So what that tells you is the Republicans are satisfied with the result. They won in their opinion. They don't really care. We'll work all this other stuff out. Okay, I gotcha. The Russians hacked the system. Okay, we got it. Can we move forward now? Isn't that amazing? Don't you find that interesting? Very interesting. We don't want to talk about that. Oh, boy. Let's see what else here. James says he's going to be listening. I'm not sure who you're referring to. I thought the hit was Otis or something like that. I don't know. I don't keep up with these things, these trifling matters. I'm going to keep up with them. Here's my number, 513-873-7134. 7134. Listen, I need to say this, okay? All right? I'm not trying to hit you over the head with it a lot, but as we get ready for 2017, perhaps things may change for you. Maybe you'll be in a better position. I don't know. Maybe you'll just be in a better position in terms of how you feel. But as we grow the Nathan Ivey Show here, there's multiple ways to support the show, including becoming a patron, which basically means that you're kind of like a producer of the show to some degree. And if you're interested, go to my website, nathanivey.com, and you can click on one of the side buttons that read Patreon, Patreon, and just read about what that means. For my patrons, as the new year is upon us, you'll have new content over the weekend. And I've come up with, I think, of some pretty good ideas. It's like, okay, here's a new stream for which I need to produce content for. I want to do something that's kind of meaningful. So let me know. What that means is, like, I'm taking a lot of videos. Some of this stuff I'm going to post it straight for my patrons, like patrons only, for your eyes only. And not just messages and videos, but just like last night, I haven't posted any of it, but I've got videos of all of the interactions, all of the various speakers, and it'll be a platform for me to share some of that stuff. You might find it interesting. Again, 513-873-7134. Putin and the Russians got the better of the deal all day long. All day long. And now Vladimir Putin is saying that he is vowing basically that he's going to get back at Obama. He's going to get back at the United States. I mean, again, Donald Trump, within the first 100 days, are going to have to make some decisions about the Russians. If he backs away and softens the sanctions that Obama set up, what we should conclude from that is that he's in the pocket of the Russians, straight up. He's in the pockets of the Russians. And if he doesn't, will that strain his relationship with Putin? Now I'm reading that actually Obama himself is going to address Congress and kind of share the information that he has. So he's going to force the Republicans to deal with this issue, as he should. Force them. Somebody sent me another link to Dr. Umar Johnson. I mean, that was big, man. I don't know how many collective clicks that they got, but that was huge. That was huge. And I don't know what SETI said that got Umar Johnson so upset, but it must have been something serious. I think it had to do, from what I could gather, with SETI turning down coming to a parent conference, and then he said, bump the elders, and then Umar Johnson had to let him know. He said, listen, I'm the top black Pan-African prince. Like, when he calls himself the prince of Pan-Africanism, what I gathered from those YouTube videos, or that YouTube video, is that that's really what Dr. Umar thinks about himself. He thinks very highly of himself. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with it. But, I mean, he went in. Challenged your brother to a debate. I mean, I'm like... And then I went back and watched some of the videos from SETI and all those videos. And, you know, hey, it is what it is. He's getting a lot of clicks. People seem to like it. He's got an audience. But that is hilarious. What the hell? Huh. All right, back to your chat. Junior Rice, talk to me, bro. I miss when men were men. Yes, the good old days. Just ain't making them like they used to. Let's see. Catching up to your chat. James Rice, was Carmine on 55 KRC or 700 WOW? I can't remember. It was 55 KRC. It's 55 KRC. It was fun. It was fun. It was a great radio. And it's just so rare in terms of Cincinnati radio, to have like a progressive, sort of a liberal, progressive viewpoint. It's very rare. Very rare. And you can count on like one hand in terms of commercial talk radio. Like, if you go to public radio in the city, you'll get a lot of that. But in terms of commercial radio, holding down a commercial radio show, very rare. Carmine, me, a few other folks. But in terms of having a daily show, Carmine, me, what's the brother's name? It's a white dude. His name came up at a chop shop about a week or so ago. It'll come to me. Maybe Gene Galvin, I think. Yeah, Gene Galvin. I think he was more of a progressive, yeah. That's about it. It's very rare. Most talk radio was dominated by conservatives, the Trumpsters. And yet they talk about how the media is dominated by liberals. The media is not dominated by liberals. The media is much more neutral or leans to the left. I'm talking about in terms of news organizations. That's my take. I'm sticking to it. My name is Nathan Ivey. I approve these flows. We'll be right back.
Online, 3linkdirectory.com has handpicked tens of thousands of quality links, so you don't have to spend hours searching. Find the best internet links on 3Link Directory. Visit 3linkdirectory.com now. Enjoy quality links sorted in categories like arts, games, health, shopping, sports, travel, and many more on 3linkdirectory.com. That's 3linkdirectory.com.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. Waking up every day, lifting him from the bed to the wheelchair to the car to get him to therapy on time, it's no small task between the doctors and the diagnosis, but nothing can disable this love. This is my big brother, my hero. He's part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. See, there's no time for tired. This starts again tomorrow. He'll be waiting for me. I wake up for him. I know he needs me, but I'm the lucky one. Even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community, or call 877-333-5885. Caregiving Resource Center. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Thank my mommy for loving me so much, for taking me out to the park, for reading me books, for taking me to the doctor when I broke my foot in ballet rehearsal,
for leaving me alone when I wanted to be alone.
And now, as a grown-up, I'm thankful for being able to take care of you, my dear mom, for having the chance to take you to the park, for reading you those books we enjoy so much, for being able to take you to your therapies after you twisted your ankle, for understanding that sometimes you simply want to be alone.
Roles change without us noticing. And in your new role, we help you help. Visit aarp.org/caregiving to get practical health and wellness tips to provide even better care for your loved one. Remember, visit aarp.org/caregiving. AARP. We help you help. A public service announcement brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
With the Bloomberg Urban Report, I'm Donna Wilson. Today is the 5th day of Kwanzaa. The principle for the day is Nia, which is purpose. Worker turnover could pick up in 2017. More than a fifth of the people surveyed by Career Builder say they plan to change jobs in the new year. The numbers are higher among younger workers and lower for those who are 35 of age and older. Kate Spade, which is exploring a sale of the company, plans to kick off a formal auction process next month with 6 possible bidders. And in the business of entertainment, filmmaker, producer, and rapper Ice Cube is launching a 3-on-3 basketball league using retired NBA players. The league will consist of 8 teams of 5 players, and its first season is expected to begin in the summer of 2017. Financial terms of the deal were not disclosed.
Now that I've joined Audible, my drive time is more, well, thrilling. As I listen to Paula Hawkins, The Girl on the Train.
I know something happened on Saturday. I knew it when I looked into that dark tunnel under the railway line. My blood turning to ice water in my veins.
And that's why I don't take the train.
Get The Girl on the Train free when you start a 30-day trial at audible.com/actnow. Audible. Turn anytime into story time.
The U.S. economy has been getting stronger, and home values have been increasing. Hi, I'm Jay Farner, president of Quicken Loans. Many of our clients have been taking cash out of their homes, a strategy that might work for you. The smart move is for you to refinance your mortgage right now with Quicken Loans. The rate today on a 30-year fixed-rate mortgage is 4.375%. APR 4.51%. Call 800-QUICKEN or go to QuickenLoans.com. That's 800-QUICKEN.
Call for cost information and conditions. Equal housing lender. Licensed in all 50 states. NMLS ConsumerAccess.org number 3030.
That's your Bloomberg Urban Report. I'm Donna Wilson.
Good morning, all. Welcome back. This is the Nathan Ivey Show. You found us. Weekdays, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. Podcast available. Actually, to this point, every show is available on my Spreaker page. I mean, you can go back to the very first show. That's going to change very quickly for two reasons. Primarily, I'll just give you the number one reason. And that is I am running out of storage space on Spreaker, so I need to move that audio content. And I haven't figured out what I want to do with it. I could just put it straight on NathanIvey.com, make it available for you to sort of peruse if you should desire, but I'm not really sure if people would even give a damn about something like that. Not sure. Sure. I will be making a series of best-ofs. Sort of chronicle the first year of the show. But I'm going to be wiping that clean, which means that if I don't make it available, and I'm not even sure how many months I'm going to go back, I would say that the first 3 months of the show won't be available, perhaps. Maybe certain shows will always be available, certain classic shows, certain guests. I'll figure it out. I want to give you a heads up on that, though. Angela writes, haha, so will James Benta. Bang, bang. Angela's a very smart woman. Very smart. Good morning. The Nathan Ivey Show. Good morning. Can you hear me now? Good morning. The Nathan Ivey Show is sponsored by UC Health. UC Health, Cincinnati's only academic health system. And listen, helping me, you can do it in numerous ways. Your clicks. Listen, you might even want to listen one day. Do me a favor. Just hit that click button for 30 seconds to a minute and stop it. If you can't listen to the entire show. Sharing the show. Becoming a patron. I talked about that before the break. I appreciate it. People send me links to news stories, especially in the friends who like the Nathan Ivey Show Facebook page. I appreciate it. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. I look at all of it. I'm only one man. I can't see you do everything. Jerica writes, Nathan, as a diligent listener of the conscious lecturers to fully understand the beef of Umar, Seti, and a few others who would have to listen to more than just a few of their videos. They are some pretty intelligent brothers who have allowed their pride and egos to fog their missions. I don't doubt it. In terms of some very intelligent brothers. I don't doubt that one bit. I think Umar Johnson's very intelligent. It's so funny, though, but he was definitely shifting. Umar Johnson shifts. That's one of the biggest things I got from the Umar Johnson, like rant. Like, he just went in on dude. Let me see if I got it here. Why, Nathan? Because we need to. See, Umar. Okay. Is that Umar shifts. He shifts. Like, I went back and saw like, if you go on Umar Johnson's website right now, a video will start playing automatically. And he is just like so professional. He's so professional. He's so nice. He's so intelligent sounding. Just makes you want to give him money for the school, right? You doubt what I'm saying? Okay, well, I'm going to take you there then. You've never gone to Dr. Umar Johnson's website, the Prince of Pan-Africanism. Let's go there together right now. Sure what that's all about. I don't like that. We won't be going to his website. What is RGB? RBG? What does RBG mean, Jerica? Does that mean revolutionary but gangster? What does that mean exactly? I heard them using that term back and forth. I'm RBG. So I don't know. Perhaps there's a war going on. inside of the conscious community.
Pan-Africanism, Dr. Umar Johnson.
Yeah, I had to.
From
Jerica brought it up.
Florida, live and direct, Black Florida.
I'm not going to play this entire audio for you. It's just too long.
Forward to tomorrow, Regency Square Mall Event Planning Center. This will be my first time speaking in the good city of Jacksonville.
I saw Umar Johnson sit down with Rock Newman. He didn't sound like this.
5 long years since Dr. Umar Johnson has spoken here in Jacksonville, Florida. So brothers and sisters, I want to see y'all tomorrow. Doors open up at 4. Program will be from 6 until 9. And then we will sign books until we get up out of there, Black family. So today what I want to do is I want to talk a little bit about the upcoming National Independent Black Parent Association Training Conference. The National Independent.
And you know, he
be the general? Well, I'm the prince, nigga. The general answers to the prince. I call the fucking shots. You dirty midget. Fucking albino nigga. Your problem is you got an inferiority complex. Don't blame me for that shit. I'm not the reason you look like a fucking cracker, nigga. Dr. Umar ain't the reason you look like a fucking cracker. What? This ain't Sinetta talking. This me, nigga. I stands my own ground. I ride alone, nigga. I don't need nobody backing me. Fuck you calling niggas on the phone for? You got something to say to me? Why you calling men up on the phone for? Speak your speech, nigga.
Why you putting up YouTube videos?
Speech, nigga. Speak your speech. You built like that? I got some shit for you. I got some shit for you. Y'all ready for this, fam?
No, I'm not ready.
Y'all ready for this?
No, I'm not ready.
I'm in Detroit Friday, nigga. I challenge you to a debate in your own fucking city. I'm in Detroit Friday, little nigga. Let's debate. Let's debate from 6 to 8, and I charge Papa fucking Smurf. I charge Minnie Mouse to a 1-hour debate on who really runs the RBG Black Consciousness Movement, nigga. Fuck a YouTube. Fuck a Facebook. You versus me in your town, nigga. That's right. You got the hometown advantage. You got home court, nigga. 3 questions.
Y'all should play basketball.
3 questions is what we going to do.
That might be better.
You fucking nut. 3 questions, bitch. Question number 1. What have you done for black people in the past 15 years? Because your ass keeps screaming about what the fuck you done, but I ain't seen shit but a bunch of plagiarized ass lectures. You ain't no fucking scholar, nigga. You ain't done no scholarship. You taking shit out of niggas' books.
That's my thesis,
nigga. Research articles and books. I'm published, nigga. You ain't wrote no books. You ain't done no articles because you's a fucking plagiarist. All your information come from other niggas' books. Talking that shit, Mighty Mouse. You think I know you mad because every chick you deal with gotta look.
I just flashed forward 5 minutes. He's still going in.
You gotta look up at every female you deal with. You gotta look deal with. You gotta look 9858. I'm not playing either.
5 minutes later, he's still going
right now because nobody was talking to you. I said the conscious community need to have a conversation with the elders. You don't respect the elders? Well, fuck you, nigga. I do. You don't respect the elders? Fuck you, nigga. I do.
You don't respect the elders?
Fuck you, you midget.
Oh my God, he's out there. My apologies to his language. He gonna switch up right now. Watch this.
So.
Oh my God. Why would you do that, YouTube?
Getting back to the Parent Association.
We do all of that.
I was going to go in 2017 peaceful. I was going to go in 2017.
This man just spent 18 minutes going hard on some dude on a YouTube video. Then he says, after a pause, getting back to that Parent Association. we can't get back to the Parent Association now, Dr. Umar. We can't do it. Because now all I want to know about is who the hell is this? Who are you talking about? He spent 18 minutes going hard. Maybe a little less because he started the video talking about some other things. We'll give him 15 minutes. 15 minutes straight. Looking at a camera. Probably his phone. Going hard. Cussing on his phone. Spitting on his phone. Blah, 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 blah. It's going into straight DMX on the phone, right? And then he pauses and says, well, getting back to that parent association class. I mean, nobody wants to talk about the class anymore, Umar. That is nuts. Somebody says the same thing happened here in Cincinnati when you had the boycotters about 15, 16 years ago. You're right about that. It did happen. And I used to take heat from some of the boycotters because I dared to speak about it on the radio. But my observation then was, and I've sort of chided them, from time to time on the microphone, it's true. And that is that at some point it did seem like there was some infighting inside of the black local protest organizations. And it may or may not led to losing the momentum and not fully being able to harness the moment and transform it into equity for the community, into resources for the community. That happens. Now, is that Willie Lynch? Willie Lynch was brought up last night. Somebody referred to John Cranley's emails as his Willie Lynch letters last night. I ain't saying no names, but it was said last. I'm telling you, it got ill. It got ill. They are going for John Cranley's jugular. And it's about his judgment, the way he treats people. He's using black people as pawns. And if we get different leadership, then it's going to be all different. We're not going to play politics anymore. You know how the game is played. Pat, good morning to you. She writes, side note, Serena Williams is engaged to Reddit co-founder Alexis Ohanian. White dude, right? Well, he's non-black. I know that. Reddit co-founder, she might be worth a lot of money. I mean, come on, you got to have bread and by bread, I mean money, or you got to have some type of fame and notoriety to get a woman like Serena Williams. You know that. And I'm not surprised that she's engaged to a non-black man. Don't surprise me whatsoever. Don't surprise me. And the thing that would have surprised me the most about Serena Williams, and you can take this any way you want to, is if she had married a black man who was like her own skin tone. That would have surprised me. Because just kind of looking at some of the the guys that she's dated, she ain't liking no dark-skinned brothers. Common had a shot, Drake, guys like that. Rappers, entertainers, they've got money, they've got notoriety, and they got light skin. It is what it is. It is what it is. Hope she's happy. Rika writes, morning. I knew it was inevitable. Didn't know it would hurt so bad. Serena Williams engaged to one of them. What you mean one of them? Human? What is he? She engaged to an alien? Something tells me this Reddit co-founder is probably a human being. But we know that her preference is not black men. It is what it is. At least not dark-skinned black men. So you could be the richest you would have to be the richest dark-skinned man in America in order to get a shot with Serena Williams. Good morning, caller. How you doing? Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Nathan Ivy and the good people of Cincinnati.
John, what up, man?
All right, how are you today? Can you hear me loud and clear?
I can hear you, but your phone, man, can you please upgrade your phone in 2017, please?
Sorry, you on a speakerphone thinking that might fix, and I don't have to go outside and get in my car.
Yeah, speakerphone will not fix it. Just for anybody listening, you definitely don't want to call in on speakerphone. That's never a good idea.
Oh my God. Well, I try to chime in on a couple things before you click me off. Wishing you and the family a happy New Year.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to clip your wings.
That's all right. A quick thing on Serena. Let me correct you. She has dated dark-skinned men in the past. I think about a good 5-6 years ago. She was dating a linebacker for the Washington Redskins. This was maybe about 10 years ago. I forgot the brother's name. He was a dark-skinned brother.
Okay.
I forgot the guy's name. He was a linebacker or a back for the defense.
Oh, so he's the one that blew it for all the dark-skinned brothers to follow. I don't remember that, but I'll take your word for it. Okay.
You can look it up if you click in the links of some of the people that she dated. I think that brother, he's a dark-skinned brother, does come up, and I think she dated a couple other dark-skinned people. But that's her choice, If she chooses to want to go with somebody outside her race,
hey, if she found love, she found love. That's all that matters. And, I will say this, though, John, that when I'm Googling Serena Williams, it's like my search terms are like Serena Williams' body, not Serena Williams' boyfriend. So I don't have no idea what their boyfriends look like.
I hope that guy can hit. I thought she was going to that trainer, that trains with her, or her coach, there was allegedly talk that him and her had some stuff going on. Nobody ever proved. And he's married. He's from, I think, France, I think. But supposedly it was talk him and her was doing something on the side. But I guess now she's going in a different direction.
Yeah. All these men out here, I couldn't handle. I'll be honest with you. I can't handle Serena Williams. I'll be honest with you. She'd kill me.
It's a lot of women there.
She'd kill me.
I can handle.
You see, See, I'm a realist. I can't handle that. I can't handle that. I had to call the Marines or something because she'd mess around and kill me, man. But it's something to think about.
Hey, Lincoln Ware and me, that's our fantasy woman.
Hey, you go right ahead. You go right ahead. But I already know my limitations. I already know.
As we go into 2017, I think Black Lives Matters will probably take off because with this president coming into office, as I indicated to you, the statistics between Thanksgiving and the New Year's, police shooting has been zero over the last 20 to 30 years. After the New Year's, expect when Trump gets into office, he's going to unleash the mercy of people of color. And Black Lives Matters, we need to get behind them 110%. Let me remind people, when King was coming up, people were telling King to shut up and go away. When Malcolm X was coming up, people were telling Malcolm X to shut up and go away. Well, they prospered. But Black Lives Matter is not afraid to stand up. And some of the older folks, the baby boomers or the Sharptons and the Jesse, need to get behind these Black Lives Matters because they are the future and they see where this country is really going. And it doesn't look good for us and for people of color across the country.
All right, man. Thanks for the flow. Have a great New Year's, man.
Okay, you do say.
Yep, take it easy. That's John in Princeton, New Jersey. I think his phone sounded a little bit better there. He had to keep it real about Serena. I already know. Rico writes, I think I read that. Pam writes, Rico, I think she gave brothers a chance. Mary writes, back in the country. Good morning, Choppers. Where you been, Mary? Glad to have you. What's up, Key C? X-Squad affiliate, salute. Jerica writes, RGB means red, blue, green. Red, green, blue. Okay. Mary writes, can she get an invite to the friends who like the Nathan Ivey show? Absolutely. Again, I did not start it, so the person behind it, I'm sure she will get to your request. Reggie writes, RNG is red, black, and green, the African flag colors. Yes, I pieced it together. Shannon writes, OMG, he just changed it up real quick. Yikes, yes. I mean, he went in for about 15 minutes, and then he said, let's talk about my school. I'm like, and see, my thing about this is I support Dr. Umar Johnson's efforts in building his school. I don't have any evidence whatsoever that he's some kind of con artist. Like a lot of people who try to put him out there like that, like Boyce Watkins and his crew tried to go for Dr. Umar. And I don't know if it's true or not. It seems authentic. I've not researched it. That whole thing with the stripper, would I hold that against him? Apparently he was cavorting. That's mean being intimate with some stripper and then she outed him. I mean, he is a man. He is a man. It was more about how he handled it. In this situation, for instance, let's say I like the idea about him starting a school. Okay. And I want to donate. Okay. I've asked people to donate and help me in what I'm doing. So I understand this. I'm not really sure if him going super hard like that on somebody and posting it online where he knows people are going to see it is helping that cause. Because for 15 minutes, he didn't seem like the kind of principal or the founder of a school that I want my child to attend. I'm just being honest with you. Can I separate that from the idea? Yes, I can. I think it's a strong idea. We do need more black-owned, more black-founded, funded, higher, institutions of higher learning, schools. We do need that. He's right. It makes sense, with his background for him to move in that direction. So that's why I told a couple people, I don't know if this helps his mission. But, it is what it is. Lawrence writes, I'm not mad at him. I won't condemn him. People have to be checked in different ways. Okay. Yeah. Andrew writes, he had a lot to get off his chest. Jericho writes, now, in Umar's defense, we all have situations that bring us out of character. Junior writes, the ish went from street beef to scholarly challenge real quick. LMAO, Umar versus SETI. Craig writes, Dr. Umar flipped the script, LOL. Dark skin on dark skin crime. Classic, yeah. Nobody was called Crispy. Okay, not one person. Not one time was called Crispy. Junior writes, oh man, that may be the audio of the year. I'm wiping coffee off my laptop as we speak. Appreciate that, Brother Ivy. Absolutely. Glad I can mess up your laptop. Let's go to the phones. Good morning, caller. How are you? Welcome.
Hey, Nathan Ivy. How you doing, sir?
What up, man? What up, CK?
Yes, sir. Yes,
unmistakable voice. I know that voice anywhere. What's up with you, brother? Good morning.
You say you be looking up Serena Williams' body.
Serena Williams in body, yeah.
You mean booty?
No, I put in body. I was trying to be, you know.
Okay, you got to look at the whole. I got you.
Yeah. When you put in body, everything comes up.
Right. Hey, but look, man, I was checking out that fight yesterday with Dr. Umar Johnson against that one dude.
Against SETI? And who do you think won?
Man, I think the little dude won. He got Dr. Umar out of character. Hello?
Yeah, Dr. Umar did look a little different, huh? We never seen him like that before.
Yeah, he got him way out of character, Nathan. You can't talk like that if you build it in school.
Yeah, I mean, if somebody was thinking about putting their kid in that school and they see that video, it might make them think twice.
Right.
For good reason.
Nathan Avenue, you already got people hating on the school already. Now you're talking like this and you're the founder of the school?
It's a bad look.
Yeah, it's a bad... And I think this goes to show you that in 2016, we are our worst enemy because, look, even our conscious people are fighting amongst themselves.
Over nothing. Like, what was the beef about? SETI decided to turn down an invitation to what, town hall meeting or something like this, a conference?
Mm-hmm. Yep. And he talking to him like a gangster rapper, 1996 style. I don't think he should have went out like that, Nathan. I
don't think so either.
He got to keep his composure, man.
Yeah, he's trying to raise some money for this idea for the school. That should be his focus, not some dude. But again, everybody's different. He felt like he had to respond, and it's making for good radio, so...
Yeah, they had him trending. But man, I've seen it, man. I was disappointed in Dr. Umar, and but I still want him to get his school up. I think they're gonna use that against him, like they did Nate Parker.
Yeah, they did, and it worked against Nate Parker too, didn't it? That movie came in quick. It came and went real quick.
Oh my God, how they did it like that, Nathan? How they did? We had the best movie we've been wanting for 30 years. And they just ruined it for us.
They should have put Kevin Hart in it. They should have put Kevin Hart in it. There it is.
It sounds funny, but that's the realest thing I heard. If you would have did exactly, you should have had Kevin Hart in it. Listen, we need you to come on, lead a comedy just for one movie. Do this for the African American race.
He could have been the comedic relief or something like that. But if Kevin Hart was in it, millions more people would have go see that movie. White folks would have said, you know what? I'm gonna go check out this new Kevin Hart movie. It wouldn't have been a slave movie. It would have been the new Kevin Hart movie. So people gotta think. Gotta think his chest.
Did you see that movie Top 5 with Chris Rock a couple years ago?
I can't get through it, man. I've started it a couple times and it just never holds my attention enough to stick all the way through.
You're right, but it's only one good part in it when Cedric the Entertainer get in there.
Where is that? I need to start right there then.
Yeah, just start on the Cedric the Entertainer, probably about 25 minutes in. It's about 25 minutes in. Watch that part, and you can turn off the movie after he leaves.
It's dead. Right.
Bro, But the part is so good, Nathan. It's worth watching the movie. I mean, just watch that part and you're going to be like, okay.
All right. You said 25 minutes in. All right.
Man, but have a good one, man. I got to get back to the work, man. I'm going to keep listening, man.
Take it easy, man. Most def. Appreciate it. That voice is unmistakable. Unmistakable. Again, if you don't have any plans, stop out at Park Place. Come out and see me. I'll be hosting the events. Bringing in the new year. Bringing in the new year. And it's out in Forest Park. Can't miss it. Black owned. Black owned. So step out. And tomorrow at 11 a.m., I got an invitation. Get this. I checked my emails this morning. I get an invitation from the host of a show over on a station called The Praise. And they're asking me to sit in for them tomorrow. And I accept it. I accept it. So if you're around, turn me on. Turn me on. Del writes, but to respond back on YouTube is Mitchified. Dr. Umar is going to Detroit to address him face to face like real men, period. Tanika writes, Dr. Umar seems a little cuckoo to me. I'm just saying. Jerica chimed in. She said, give him a chance. I listened to Seti's response. Not all of it, but most of it. I listened to the videos, Seti's videos leading up to it. Let's see. Angela writes, please listen to the playback, John. You have no idea how terrible that phone of yours comes across. Jesse writes, John, you sound like you're talking in a can. Every phone is made differently. Pat writes, Nate, sadly, a lot of dark-skinned men probably wasn't checking for her. And a lot of them seem to go for lighter-skinned women, even in Hollywood. Yeah, that colorism thing is alive and well. Tanika writes, Jerica, I'll try, LOL. Pat writes, can we have a sound check? 1, 2, 1, 2. All right, he's saying John's phone was extremely low. I'll work on that for his next phone call. I mean, I don't want to get to this point, but, I mean, I hate not taking people's phone calls. And they've decided to dial that number. Here's the number for you, 513-873-7134. James writes, Nathan, I'm winning. You notice all my hater got another ugly one. I don't know. James bent us on something else. And hopefully, whatever it is, you'll figure it out. Craig writes, Dr. Umar is a very smart man, but getting caught in his feelings like this is going to have some sponsors giving him the side eye. That rant is the difference between someone donating $100 and $20. We'll see. Again, I think the idea of what he's trying to put together makes sense to me. I've gone to the website, seems official. That's as far as I've investigated. Other people have investigated all into it, but I mean, if that's what he's trying to do, that's what he's trying to do. Shauna writes, has anyone seen the video of the lady talking about Section 8? Could you post a link, please? And what is she saying about Section 8? Wait a minute. I grew up on Section 8. Send me a link, Sean. I'd love to see it. What did they say? I'd love to see it. What was said? Pan writes, Nate, what is Praise is trying to get you in for a spot in 2017? I doubt that. As I told you, on the weekends, and this is not uncommon in a lot of commercial enterprises, radio stations, on the weekend they do paid programming. And this particular show, I believe, is paid programming. So essentially they pay to have airtime to promote whatever their ideas are. This particular show, they talk about, local issues, national issues, Democrat policies, progressive policies. And that's a natural fit for me. I'll be honest with you. I am 100% committed to what we are doing here. 100%. I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Now let's go back to the phones. Let's welcome, caller. How are you?
Good morning, Mr. Ivy. What's going on?
What's going on? Is this Cynthia?
And you know it, sir.
Good morning.
Morning.
How you feeling?
I'm 1,000 times better than what I've been. So I cannot complain about nothing.
That's great.
I ain't going to burn up too much of your time. I just really wanted to call and tell you thank you for being the you that you are, for answering the charge to bring the superlative flow to the airwaves, to enlighten those who has an ear that's inclined to hear. And, you know, for capturing my attention, because I'm one of those hard ones to capture. So there is nothing but greatness ahead of you for 2017. Just don't allow the small man to try to be like a giant in a shadow. So, you know, you just keep pressing forward, and nothing but greatness is going to follow you, sir. And I just wanted to encourage you, leaving out of 2016, getting ready to go into 2017, just not to lose your focus and to keep your sight.
I appreciate this, Cynthia. I'm going to do just that. And I appreciate that. I really do.
Yeah, so, you know, like I said, I ain't going to burn up too much of your time. That's really all I wanted, sir. Just to, you know, call and encourage you a little bit, and then, you know, finish listening till you close out the show for today.
Okay, Cynthia, thank you so much. Take it easy.
No problem. You too. Thanks.
Yeah, we'll catch up in the new year. Deanna writes, morning, Cynthia. Glad you are doing well. Me too. She sounds better. And thank you for the kind words. I need them. I need them. It's the hardest thing ever. The most enjoyable thing that I've done in radio for many reasons. But, you know, sometimes you feel like it's like David versus Goliath, so to speak. But I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Who knows what may happen in 2017? You have no idea. But now I'm inside of the Friends Who Like the Nathan Ivey Show. I'm looking at everything that people have been posting. I look at this every single day. Every single day I scroll through here. Sometimes I like things and comments. Sometimes I post things. Here is the audio. I have not read this. I have not heard this, so it may be some ill language. It is the internet.
Good morning, everybody. It's the beautiful one, baby. I'm sitting up here this morning at Apple and Eagle Car Wash getting my baby clean because I got a lot of miles I need to put on this weekend. So you know what I'm saying? She got to be looking tight and looking right as I stroll through the city. But as y'all can see in my subtitle, this is a Section 8 update. My inside connection with the U.S. Department of HUD up in D.C. just gave me a call. I want to go ahead and brace you all for what is getting ready to happen, okay? Now that President-elect Donald Trump is going to be sworn in January, there are getting ready to be some significant changes and some abrupt changes with the Section 8 housing voucher and public housing. So I want to go ahead and brace you all so you all can go ahead and start making preparations right now, so you know that you've already been warned. Y'all know when I find that information, I get on and I warn my people. Okay, the budget has been cut by hundreds of millions of dollars. Hundreds of millions of dollars.
Okay. Well, thank you for that. It's 10 minutes long, Mark, Mr. Hollywood, so I'll check it out. And does she go in great detail and kind of share the insights that she has via her friend or her connects? I appreciate it. And now I'm on Kevin Newman's page. Kevin be going super hard. What's up? To OJ Hancock. All right. See, Pam writes, I watched the Section 8 video. She was kind of all over the place. Not really sure what to think. Yeah, me either. But I'll go back and check it out. Kiki writes, I gotta go, fam. Have a great and safe day and happy early new year. One love. Absolutely. You too. We'll catch up in the new year. Stay safe. Stay safe. Fam writes, this Omar versus Seti beef is a powder keg. Much more intense than Tariq Nasheed versus Soda Moisture. See? Surprised you didn't say crispy. Soda Moisture. It's all kind of little issues and beefs happening around the internet. All kinds of things are happening. Last night I was at is it a Black Agenda meeting? They call it a press conference. I'm not really sure who was repping who. It was a press conference. You had a lot of people who spoke. Bishop Bobby Hilton, who's the president of NAN. Rob Richardson Sr., who is the president, going after the white Democrat mayor. So what's the bargain here? So are they looking for an apology? Are they looking for an apology? Are they looking for John Cranley to fall on the sword? Are they what exactly are they looking for? Oh, boy. It says some people are having some issues with Spreaker there. I see it on my end as well, some connection issues. I mean, let me reiterate it. What is it that the black agenda, what are they looking for? Is this just the pressure that they're going to put on from the grassroots to lift up Yvette Simpson? It kind of felt like that last night. It's like, hey, Cranley did all these terrible bad things to the former black chief of police. No matter what his policies may or may not be, he's not a good guy. He's got the wrong temperament, and he needs to go. How deep is this? Oh, boy, some folks are saying they lost connection. I think we're back connected now. My apologies on that. A little bit out of my control. Let's see. Let me get to it. Mike Gilligan of the week here. Let me get to it. Mike Gilligan of the year. Just sit right back and you know who it is. It's one of the biggest clowns in the circus. He's got the biggest, reddest nose in the entire circus. And that's our president-elect, Donald Trump. Damn. How did this happen? You've got 21 days, ladies and gentlemen, until Donald Trump is sworn in as the president. 21 days. That's 21 days for Obama to do whatever he's doing last second. That's 21 days. Some folks are saying going in and out with the sound. My apologies. The connection's in and out. Not sure what's going on. I'll do what I can on my side. I don't want to end like that. I want to end on a great note. There we go. We're back. Chuck writes, have a good year, Nate, and Chop Shop lost connection. We're still here. If you're still with me, I appreciate you holding me down. Let's take a phone call, Shelby. Let's go straight to the phones. Caller, how are you?
Morning, Nathan, Ivy, and the Choppers. This is B.
What up, B? Good morning.
Pretty good. Just wanted to reminisce on the year past.
Let's do it. What's going on? What's in your mind?
It's been a great year for you, for us listeners of your show. The fact that you started, your own endeavor, and it's kind of plays to the entrepreneurial spirit, and that's something that I personally have embarked on myself. And everyone has that potential. If everyone just lets out the best version of themselves, and so I'd like to continue to encourage you to do your thing. This is a fantastic medium that you have here, uncensored, and sticking the middle finger to the status quo. It's one of your favorite sayings that I like. And also, I'd like to bring, let people aware that this new year that we're about to celebrate is Julius Caesar's new year. We use the Julian calendar because that's his calendar system, put together in the Roman days.
Yeah, I understand.
But initially, calendars were made to keep track of natural events, so that for farming reasons, so that they know when the waters flood, receded, so that they know when the crops are coming in. So initially, when the calendar was based on natural events, New Year's actually in the spring in a lot of cultures, because that's a new crops are sprouting out. So just wanted to give you all some 411 on that. Wanted to say congratulations on the show, and y'all have a good weekend.
All right, B, take it easy, man. I really appreciate the kind words, man. Take it easy.
No problem, brother.
Yeah, most def. That's an entrepreneur right there. I know it for a fact. B's a hustler. No, I really appreciate it. And it's funny how things evolved. Again, did not have this necessarily in my mind. I had people that were supporting me, thought about it, and decided, okay, let's take a shot at it. Let's take a shot at it. To this point, I would have to say, after 10 months into it, we are successful. That this has been a successful endeavor. I would have to say that. On any level, on any way that you really want to measure it, quite honestly. And I'm excited about what that means for the future. I really am. I'm very excited. So, as I said, tomorrow night I'll be the host out at Park Place. If you know where that is, stop out, say what's up. I'll post a link, a banner link on my website. And maybe bring in the new year. Let's bring the new year in together. Love to. You know, I may even have a wifey with me. We'll both step out. I know they're going to have a comedian. They've got live band. They're going to have a DJ, free champagne. Okay. Mila writes, Nate, can I get a birthday shout out? My birthday is tomorrow. Absolutely. Happy birthday, Mila. Most definitely. All the choppers have to do is just put in a request and let me know for sure. So your birthday is January 31st? That's an interesting birthday. That's cool. Because you get to ring in your birthday and then you get to enjoy the new year. That's cool as hell. Did you like that growing up? Don writes, let's see how much noise any of those... I just lost it. Where you at, Don? I just lost it. Don writes, let's see how much noise any of those people at that press conference last night make once the bags of money starts getting passed around. Got you a bag of money? Got you a bag? Everybody got their bags of money? Yeah, we good. And everybody's quiet about it. Could be. What's Tillery's motivation? Maybe he's in it for the money. Is he trying to put pressure on the city to put more money in from the city into his organization? Really? I don't know. You tell me. Let's go back to the phones. Caller, good morning. How are you?
Hi, Nate. It's Pat.
What up, Pat?
How you doing?
I'm doing great. Good morning.
Good. I know you are. I'm just calling to say hello to you and the Choppers and to let you know that, well, you already know you have my full support, and to congratulate you and to tell you and the Chop Shop Happy New Year.
Thank you very much, Pat. Yep, take it easy. That's Pat right there. And I do know how much she supports me. Pat's a patron. I appreciate it. I know not everybody's going to become a patron. I already know that up front. I get it. Okay? But I want you to consider it and think about it. And, you know, my plan, I'll give you some insight. My plan in terms of the Patreon campaign is to really step that up online with the new year. My intentions was just what I told you. I wanted to open it up and offer it directly and only exclusively to my audience initially. Like, I'll post it a few times, maybe on my personal page, but I really haven't pushed it the way that I'm about to start to raise revenue, to create a new media platform in the city of Cincinnati. I mean, there's many ways to examine the email controversy surrounding Mayor John Cranley. One way is look at the importance of black radio, where you had two non-black Democrats in mayoral positions, and they're conversing about how to deal with and why it's so important to keep your eyes on where people communicate. There'll always be a power in the media. In fact, the media is one of the pillars of democracy. And so, you know, help me keep it independent. Help me keep it completely independent, completely unfiltered. Many people wishing Amila well, most definitely. James writes, Nate, do you know anything about the young lady named Tamaya who is running for city council? I don't know her last name to learn more. She was on the show, actually. She came on and did about 30 minutes with us here. And you can find the show in my archives. And she was a guest, and she talked about, just sort of introduced herself to everybody. And I'm aware of Tamaya because of working at my former employer. She actually did a show. She used to work for PG Sittenfield. Now she's striking on her own. Makes sense. I get it. You know, she watched other people do it. Now she's like, hey, I can do it. Makes sense. I like Tamaya. Tamaya's one of those people that you like, but you have to make your own decision. But again, go back and check out that archive. I don't recall what date that show was, but it'll be clearly, it'll state clearly, you know, my guess is Tamaya Demard. It wasn't that long ago, maybe 2 months ago. And matter of fact, ran into her last night at the big meeting. I'll tell you one of the biggest stories that should be a bigger story, and that is this whole Russian hacking thing. That should be a much bigger story, but the conservative media doesn't want to embarrass Joe Dieters. Chuck writes, Gilligan's of the Year locally, Joe, TNT Dieters, Cranley nationally, Trump, Zimmerman, and Schneider for the Flint water crisis.
Just sit right back and you'll hear
I agree completely. I got time. Mila, tell me, what was it like having a birthday that's on New Year's Eve? That's cool to me. That's super cool. So you get to bring in a new year with a birthday. This show will be made available as a podcast in about 20 minutes on my website. My apologies for the connection issues. Not sure. I'll do what I can on my side to deal with it. James writes, Happy New Year's, Choppers. Be safe in 2017. James is not happy with the broadcast. I agree with you. I hate it when it does that. That is not my intention. Let's see who else here. These are the last comments of 2016. Miller writes, I always had to share my birthday with my parents' New Year's party. That sucks. No, you should have two distinct parties. One for your birthday, then for New Year's. Pat, she just called in. She writes, Happy New Year, y'all. Look forward to a great 2017. Me too. Shout out to my good friends at SoulPublicRadio.com. My new friends, the X Squad affiliates. And shout out to the good folks at Superlative Flows Media. Shout out to Team NI. Shout out to the Choppers. Have a great New Year's. Again, I'll be at Park Place. I'll be your host. Out in Forest Park. Stop by, say what's up, get some champagne. Until next time, the new year. My name is Nathan Ivey, and I'm out.